Hi,
All right.
I'm Susan. When we go for it, all righty. Hi, I'm Susan Levy, I'm Board Secretary. Welcome to the third in our series of Partner Spotlight Lunch and Learn virtual events. Today, we're joined by Nashville Peacemakers, one of our 2019 Grant Award winners. Ms. Clemmy Greenlee, who's the CEO and founder, and Cindy Montano, who's the program director for their Back to Basics program that targets teenage girls at risk, will join us in just a few minutes, and they will share with us how they used our funds, what impact our grant had on their organization, and hopefully a little more about their programs and their mission. First of all, if everybody wants to mute, but that would be appreciated. And second, for those of you who are guests, if you would share in the chat your name and your email, and if you are a guest, who of our members invited you, it would be really great. First, I want to talk a little about the impact model. Impact100 Nashville is a women's giving circle, and we empower women to invest in local nonprofit organizations to accelerate positive social change through collaborative philanthropy. That's a terrific mission statement. How exactly does that work? Well, our model is a simple one. One woman, $1,000, one vote. Each woman invests $1,000, and every dollar of that $1,000 goes to the nonprofit. And that number is amplified by the number of women who are members. Every woman has an equal voice in determining which of the applicant organizations receives that collective grant. And then funds are awarded annually to impactful nonprofits in our community through a competitive grant process. In 2020 rather, we had 90 members strong, and we awarded one $90,000 grant. Our goal this year is 201 members in 2021. We would like to award two $100,000 grants. Well, would be 100,000 and some change this year to make an even greater impact. But 201 is only our short-term goal. Our long-term goal is 500 members, and we would like to award 5 $100,000 grants, grants that can have an even more transformative impact on our community. How do you join? I think on the next slide, you'll see our URL, but we'll talk a little bit more about ways to join in just towards the end of the presentation. So we've spoken a bit about what we are, but what has been our impact? Founded in 2014, 2015 was the first giving year. And in those 6 giving years, we have awarded $367,000 in grants to the organizations that you see on this slide. You can see Nashville Peacemakers above the 2019. I joined Impact in 2019, and I volunteered for the grants committee because that's really the heart of our mission. It's our purpose, it's what we do. And when you write a check for $1,000, if you are like me, you want to be sure that the organizations to whom we give that money is one that makes a positive impact, correct? For those of you new to Impact, part of the competitive grant process for our applicants when they reach the semifinal stage is an on-site visit. And in an on-site visit, you meet with the director, you meet with staff, you meet with board members, and you meet with clients. In 2019, one of my on-site visits was to Nashville Peacemakers, and I had the privilege of meeting Ms. Clemmy and Cindy Montano, our guests. And I heard about Nashville Peacemakers directly from these two really inspiring women whose organization does just amazing work. On the client side, we sat in for just a few minutes on a very moving, one of their programs is MOM, it's Mothers Over Murder. So we sat in on a grief session with mothers who have lost a child to violence. Very moving. My takeaway from the on-site visit and the inspiring message I heard was that this is an organization that seeks to end cycles cycles of poverty, cycles of violence, abuse, homeless, and hopelessness. And after meeting them, I thought, if this is who we partner with, if this is the organizations, the kind of organization that my dollars, well, yours, mine, our dollars collectively support, I'm all in. I'm all in. At this point, let me turn this event over to the experts, Ms. Clemmy and Cindy Montano, those two inspiring leaders in our nonprofit community. Like I was, I'm confident you will be equally inspired. And there will be an opportunity for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. Ms. Clemmy, Cindy, it's all yours.
First of all, let me say good morning to everybody. Good afternoon. I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead and let Cindy take over her part because I know our time and this is very valuable. But I also wanted to say this right quick to Ginger and Susan. That money out there a little further and a little longer got me nominated for a new set of teeth. So I just needed to say that because these people turned my name into a dental organization called My New Smile. And they know I've been crying about my 3 regular teeth in my mouth. And they wanted to, Christmas, they wanted to support and love on a mother that has been going through grief. And they threw my name in there. And I went and did the interview, and I guess y'all see my mouth. So I got new dental implants. Yay, because of you guys helping me get out there.
You look beautiful as always.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to share that with you guys because I would have never made it back in the streets if y'all hadn't gave us that money. I just wouldn't have. And I just need to share that. Cindy.
Cindy, you're muted.
Oh, I'm gonna say, did I lose Cindy?
Sorry about that.
Here she is.
Sign language wasn't working. Is the other slide available?
Hi, Billy B.
Yes.
Hi, sister. Thank you.
Could you put that up for not the mission slide? I mean that slide does tell you what the mission of Nashville Peacemakers is, but this slide right here really visually encapsulates the mom program and where the heart of the Impact Nashville money went into our program. You see in that first image in the upper left corner, that is what trauma looks like.
Hi, sweet girl.
That is what the trauma that the moms and the mothers over murder, that's the visual that they encounter of their child. Stepping over to the next picture, you see a woman embracing another woman, and that's where it starts, in the street, in the moment, when it happened. Mothers Over Murder is right there, meeting these moms where they're at in the middle of that pain. And as they walk through their grief process, you know, they're not alone. They're not alone anymore. They have someone to walk them through the grief, as well as through the social justice aspect of keeping their child's court case in front of the judicial system, the justice system. And then you get over to that last image, and there you're really seeing the full, as Susan said, we are seeking to make generational change, not just, you know, affecting the mom and not affecting the whole family. When you lose a child like this, the entire family is impacted in a very negatively traumatic way. And so to be able to bring in the sibling survivors has been a huge thing. And you know, Susan was saying that she wanted to know that her money was going into an organization that is making an impact. And I just want to encourage the ladies that are on the call and considering becoming a member of Impact Nashville, you are researching some seriously fertile soil to plant your seed in. With the, you know, 2019 was a year that 2020 was a year that nobody could have anticipated. And as a result of receiving the Impact Nashville grant, we were able to just go with the flow and continue promoting peace with unconditional love. And you all gave us the freedom to operate within the spirit of where the grant was written, an understanding that we had to do what we had to do in order to keep going and make changes. One of the things you allowed us to do was to purchase another program van. Our program van was totaled in December. And transportation is really a key issue for a lot of our constituents. For them to be able to get to our programs, we need to pick them up, whether it's the kids, whether it's the moms. Transportation is an issue. So we were able to not miss a beat, replace that van, and be able to continue meeting in person as long as, the current situations with COVID and first the tornado, and then with COVID, to be able to continue moving forward. And we were able to meet some long-term goals. We have long wanted to take Mom Mobile. Now, Mom Mobile initially to us looked like going into other cities individually, but what it became was being able to go into other cities virtually through Zoom and through the Mom Live on Facebook. So we've watched that program grow from like 45 members to over 100 members. We were able to bring in professional trauma therapists to work with the mothers and work with the kids. We were able to bring in some alternative types of therapies, such as EFT, emotional freedom techniques, which is a tapping therapy that is not, it's kind of a cross between acupressure and acupuncture, but it allows trauma release through working on certain meridian points in the face and body. I could go on and on and on and on and on, but one of the really huge things that y'all did was you elevated us within the community of Nashville. So not only did you impact us and allow us to have a greater impact on the people we serve, you have allowed us to have a greater impact with our presence overall in Nashville. And that piece is priceless. As Clemmy said, you all elevated us to a point where she received this new set of teeth. We have been elevated amongst the recognition of people who are really looking to pour into our organization long-term and see that, we are looking to become a legacy organization that will continue to make an impact in Nashville long after Miss Clemmy retires and long after, Cindy Montano is no longer part of the big picture. And that, again, is priceless. So, in a sense, I was talking to Susan the other day and I said, really, we are a loaves and fishes organization, and $25,000 provided a lot of loaves and a lot of fishes. But in the process of receiving those loaves and fishes, you also have helped us learn how to fish for ourselves. And that too is priceless. So I could go on, and Clemmy knows that when I talk, my face leaks and I'm feeling a leak start. So I'm gonna stop now and turn it back over to Susan.
Yeah, I want to say one more important part very quick if I have time to. I've been contacted by the mayor's office and the new chief of police about just what we have done in the streets within that year with this money. Because as I was saying before we even got on here, we have had 17 murders just in my community alone out here that you guys probably don't hear about and read about, and that's fine because you don't really need to. But in sense, you do need to, because it's y'all that can help us talk about how you fear that it's going to come into your community if they don't help people like us get it reduced in our community. And so now the chief of police has called and got in touch with me to ask me to come to the table to talk to them about what do I think should take place, because whatever is happening and whatever organizations is getting all of this big money, whatever their strategy is not working. It's just not working in our community. So for us to be up already to 70 murders, just already, and it's just March the 23rd, that's behold to me. That's just, you can't never mourn your own child, because I constantly get phone calls from other mothers, and it's not fair. We want to live a good life. We want to go on vacation. We want to go outside and play, but it's like it's a throwaway community over here. And all the developers and all the high rises that's coming in here, it pushes us further back. So what y'all did, you gave me the opportunity to climb through all that wood and nails and building and the tall and skinnies that's coming, and I get to squeeze through there and holler, hey, I'm here, I'm back. And so I'm excited about that. I just want to let y'all know that we really back on the map. I mean, we wasn't off the map, but it was a lot of things coming in that was pushing us back.
Yeah.
And y'all helped me get back out here with a message. And I got so many people waiting on, when you coming back, when you coming to do this, when you come to do that. I'm like, when I get my shot. But
Well, Clemmy, can you talk a little bit about the tablets you were telling me about?
oh yeah. So after the pandemic, everybody got caught up, and we weren't able to do in-person meeting anymore. And I had to call Cindy because some of the kids started sneaking out of their house, coming to my home, or how they got here, I don't know. But they was coming to my home crying and telling me that they are falling behind. They're scared that they're finna get caught back up, because we just ain't been able to meet, touch. I can't put them in my van because of the 6 feet apart thing that was going on. And so I called Cindy. I was panicking. I'm like, what can we do? We got to do something. We losing them. And Cindy like, we come up with something. Then she said, let's get them some tablets. We can buy tablets and teach them how to get on the tablets, and we can all be on there doing Zoom. And it was like, tablets, yes. Whoa, I still get excited. And so we did. We went about 20 tablets, 10 for the girls, 10 for the boys. We do pizza parties, they all be on here, and we send pizza to their house, and we get to talk about, what is and what ain't. We cry, we get mad. But at the end of the day, when we get off of there, everybody's kind of like calmed down a little bit. And they really like back on there. Do they get on our nerves now? Oh yeah, every time you look around, somebody pinging in on them. But that's okay, because they got somebody to call now. And plus, they was having trouble with their own school learning with the computer, because they just wasn't good when they was in person. And we had a letter, a teacher write a mother telling the mother her daughter is getting ready to fail for the 3rd time in this subject. And she came to Cindy crying. She said, I don't want to fail no more. Help me. So Cindy took this child in her home and her office for 2.5 days. They was up one night to like 12 midnight. Cindy still helping that child. The next day, when she went to take the test, the child got an 81. Now she got an 81 in 2 days of Cindy teaching her. So what happened in 3 years of these teachers are not doing? So that's another subject y'all gave us our ability to come up on and start finding out about. How did Cindy do this in 2 days? And they said she finna fail again for the 3rd year. And so what happened? What did y'all miss in her 3rd year? Why y'all didn't get her a tutor? Why y'all didn't really just tell the parents? Or then even if you told the parents, do the parents even know how to read the writing and the homework? So, y'all gave us the opportunity to kind of see other stuff that we hadn't looked into. So the tablets is a hit.
Ms.
Yeah.
Clemmy, you've talked about, and you and Cindy have talked about your mom program, your Mothers Over Murder. Can you talk just a little bit about your 2 other, the back to basics program, the ones that target the teenagers, the girls and the boys?
Yes, so the back to basics and the straight talk is because the 2 pictures at the bottom with me standing in the back of them with that van. I just took a trip, got them and took them to Chattanooga, like I think about 3 weeks ago, just to get them out. Those two young boys are the ones that, the one in the look with the look red, he's already in Straight Talk. This other one in all black, he's coming in on the new one. Well, these are the brothers and sisters of two of the murder victims. So they, in their mind, they want to go and retaliate. They want to know who killed their daddy. They want to know who killed their brother or their uncle, because one of them is what was her uncle. So if, in order for me to kind of help reduce violence all the way around the globe, I got to work on these kids. They are angry. My grandson wanted to know who killed his dad, which is my son. Now he was going and do some thinking. Yeah, and that's what the first thing come to our mind. So I had to get them in a class, in a group. So the girls, I started getting with the back to basics, not only to talk to them about that's not the right choice, but once I got them to talk to them, I found out they needed other guidance. Self-esteem, personal hygiene, confidence, job training. They just didn't know nothing. I don't know what school they go to. The boys was a little bit harder because they start robbing people on the bus stop. I would go to the bus stop and stop the robbing. They'd get put out of school on purpose and they get expelled. Me and Cindy was able to get, I think, 3 students back in school because they expels them for so quick. Just don't try to do mental nothing with them. So the Straight Talk group is for the boys. 12 to 16 is the age I chose because that's the age that's out here doing the killing, the stealing, and the carjacking. That's the age range that's just really being left behind because they are the age that's bad, hard-headed, and don't want to listen. But look at them now. They are really doing good. And they really want us to get back together, but I can't. But they're waiting patiently. They haven't been in trouble. They haven't been put out of their home yet. That's a good thing right there. Because the mom, some of them had put them out. They were living with other people. They are back home in their family home now as we speak. And so that's really good to us. And this is where the tablet come in at. And I try to go get a few of them, like, just a separate of them, and try to go take them somewhere just to let them know we still here and we'll be back in a minute, but let us just love on you the best way we can. Now, Cindy, she takes the girls from back to basics. She takes about 4 or 5 of them out to her house personally and just do cooking, baking cookies, painting, because they love to paint, they love to sing. And so she do stuff like that just to keep them occupied. So that's the importance of the sibling group with the back to basics and Straight Talk to get their mind out of retaliation and get their mind on something to evaluate themselves so they don't get caught up in that like their brother or their uncle or their dad.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, if I would also like to add, and this I think became an offshoot of the impact, the spirit of the impact grant, was we were able to receive another grant this year that is going to allow us to bring the trauma intuitive therapy to the kids. So we started that with the Straight Talk for Sibling Survivor, and then with COVID, we kind of, as Clemmy said, we're pulling those siblings now into the Straight Talk and Back to Basics group, so that we're not trying to spread too thin in a way where we're operating restricted. So that is a really huge thing, and that trauma intuitive therapy, or being able to approach it now as a facilitator with that level of knowledge, I was really able to help that young lady with her schoolwork in a very quick way, because I learned how to talk to her. I learned how to phrase questions that I didn't before. I love this group. I love working with the Back to Basic girls. And when we do start meeting in person, we're going to be bringing in 6 brand new girls, younger girls, and the 3 to 4 that have really stayed in touch with me, that, Clemmy was saying, they come to my house. We the last time they came to my house, we shot little videos talking about what does back to basics mean to you. If you're talking to one of these other new girls that are coming in, what would you like to share with them, so that we can start sharing that virtually with the girls before we can get back together. And these young ladies are now going to continue with the 6 new and as peer leaders. So, you know, it's what Clemmy started on a street corner with some hot dogs and bottled water has really blossomed into an organization that is impacting generations and addressing families. If you reach out to the moms of the Back to Basics girls, they will tell you that y'all have mentored us too. We have had moms that will sit in on meetings with their daughters. We have moms that, the mother of the young lady who reached out to me, she made it right away to where I could get access into her daughter's Schoolology. And that also helped me now to understand a lot more about what these kids are going through. And a big problem that I'm seeing is that these kids are kind of teaching themselves to a certain degree. And the parents, if the parents don't understand the Schoolology technology, where the school is leaning on the parents to help, and some of my parents are working 2-3 jobs. It's tough. It really is tough, but we are now, you know, because we've been able to stay engaged with these girls and their moms on this level. They're now reaching out to us in ways that is different than it was when we were getting together every Monday.
Oh,
And
thank you.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Does anyone have questions for Cindy and Ms. Clemmy?
Oh, ask me something for the hell of it. I love
I
what
have
I'm
a
doing.
question that
Okay.
maybe some of the participants have thought, but there's one. What does success look like for you?
Success look like, let me answer that one real quick. Success look like for me is, excuse me, when this is over with, this is my 3rd group. Y'all didn't know this. This is my 3rd group of Back to Basics and Straight Talk people that I tried to help. So when this is over with, I'm having a reunion that's going to bring back 30 girls and 30 boys to go with these. This is going to make 60. And some of the girls that I've already helped have already opened their own business. They married, they got husbands, nice homes, nice families. Some of the guys have made it to Atlanta to do their own music video shops. They got t-shirt business and stuff like that. These girls here, the success for me with this group is they got jobs. They did not know how to do interviews or applications until me and Cindy took time off the clock and kept on with them. And they was 3 of them was able to get jobs and still have jobs. And then one of our other ones just got a job, and we takes balloon and gift bags to every one of them without them knowing we coming, to show them that this is how much this means to us. So that success to me is when they come back and say, Miss Clemmy, when you start group up again, can we come and help? Even though they done graduated, their time is up and all of that, but they done heard and done something that they want to help do to the next young man and the next young woman. That's success for us.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and if you've got a question, please unmute yourself and just ask it directly to Cindy or Miss Clemmy.
I'd like to add another layer of success coming out of the mom group. And that is watching moms who came in, just tore up from the floor up, who have gone back to school.
Oh, yeah.
Who have become trauma therapists themselves, starting their own, or actually rebuilding programs that they had thought that they wanted to start for themselves to deal with what was more of an issue for them prior to losing their child, which was domestic violence. So to me, that is success. And I think that falls into the same line of success that Clemmy's talking about, is that when you have impacted somebody's life and they go away and then they come back to make a difference.
Yeah. I want to hear this other question. Sorry, Sandy, got no time running out. But somebody on here had something.
Janet,
was
I
it?
think it's you.
Where was she at? Janet.
Hey, Clemmy. Hey, Clemmy. I love your story so much. And one of the things that I love about your own story is that you came out of Magdalene House and you
Yes.
took that experience and created, you took that and kind of did the loaves and fishes things and created Nashville Peacemakers. And now it's like there's more chapters being written because all of the people that are benefiting from Nashville Peacemakers are going and making an impact. So you're empowering them, you're giving them, you're pouring into them, you believe in them, you love on them,
Yeah.
you care for them. And that is, every time I hear your story, yours is one of my favorite impact stories to share because you took your own situation and then you went and you're like, okay, how can I give back? So I just love it.
I tell everybody when I talk about Magdalene and Thistle Farm, oh, it still give me goosebumps all these years. That my first thing is that Becca, whatever y'all call it, Reverend Stevens or whatever, Becca, she gave me a hug before she gave me a bath. That changed my whole life. I was coming off the streets. I don't know what I was looking like or smelling like. She gave me a hug before she gave me a bath. Do you know what that did for me? You can't even imagine.
I can't imagine. But it sounds like a really good book title, Clemmy. So I think that's your next goal.
Yeah. So thank you. I want to say real quick what Cindy was trying to say. One of the mothers, Tatiana, she has went and got accepted in not David Lipskin. What is the Trevecca, thank you. I'm so excited for her. She has passed all of her tests. She wants to come back and be a therapist. She has passed all of her tests. She got a 4.3. The people were so proud of her and her story. They paid for her intuition for 2 years. One of the women chose to pay for that for her. And she is really doing good. And I told her when we do this, I was going to make sure I let y'all know about her. She lifted her head up out of the mom program after getting loved on. And she said, Clem, I want to go back to school. I called the people and had them call her. She's like, I didn't tell you to call them that quick. But she is doing good. That's really good.
That's awesome. That's an awesome testimony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions from anyone?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Ms. Clemmy and Cindy, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your very powerful story. And thank you for sharing how our grant had an impact on your organization. You've just been a terrific partner for us.
Yes. So any of you ladies on here, please join so y'all can help other organizations that's out there that didn't even know they have an opportunity without you guys. Please join.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'd
Ms.
like to
Clemmy.
throw out
Thank you.
one more plug, if I could, for y'all, is that y'all didn't look for the biggest organization that was servicing thousands upon thousands. You looked and you really looked at a small organization that is helping individuals over the long haul. And that, I think, is where you come up with somebody who comes back to give back. And there is the legacy of Clemmy's success.
You really get to see where your funds go, ladies. Join. Y'all have a blessed day.
Okay, don't hang up yet.
Thank you. Yeah, don't hang up.
Thank you. Okay, we got a few more minutes.
Thank you again.
Yeah, great story. It's an incredible story. So anybody on here want to share why you joined Impact, or if you're thinking about joining Impact? And also in the chat box, if you haven't, if you're a guest, please put your name and email address and we'll reach out to you after. Anybody want to share before I pick on you?
I can share why I joined, Ginger.
Thanks, Meredith.
I decided to join Impact in, I think, 2016, because I was looking at the size of these grants being awarded to organizations, and I knew that individually I could not contribute that to an organization. And I just loved the idea of women pooling their resources to have a greater impact than any of us could have individually. So I've continued to just love that aspect of it.
Thank you, Meredith. Meredith
Yeah.
heads our grants committee, which is, if you join, which is an incredible group to join, to volunteer on if you have time. You learn a ton about the needs in our city. It's incredible. Anybody else? Maria, you want to share? Oh, look.
Yeah, I was, yeah. So I actually went to the grand ceremony in 2019. So I think, you know, one of the reasons why I joined Impact Nashville is because of this story and this organization that we are learning about today. So I really, you know, regret probably not joining earlier, but I am, you know, here, and I'm gonna make sure that I continue to, you know, share my experience with Impact Nashville, and some of the guests that are here today are my co-workers. And, you know, I share this experience because it was very powerful for me to see how we all can contribute to make Nashville better, and organizations like Peacemakers. So very, very happy and thankful.
Thank you, Maria. We're so glad to have you here today. Anyone else?
Hi, Ginger, Sissy.
Hey, Sissy.
I joined because I met Ginger for other reasons as a coach. And then after that was done, she told me about this. And my husband and I, we typically try to find an organization that we can do our 10% you know, of our salaries to something. And this was something that I was like, oh, I can get one done. So, but what I really liked about it was the fact that you guys are not looking, you're looking at the smaller, the groups that really need the money. I mean, I hate to say really need the money, but you know, typically, you know, when people are looking to give, they're giving to the bigger organizations, and they miss out on like this organization, for example. Yeah. Because they're not looking deep enough. And so I really was looking at all the organizations that this organization gave to, and I was like, this organization actually is making an impact.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I decided to join and do that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sissy. And Sissy's a brand new member this year. So, woohoo! Yay. All right. Susan, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay, all righty then. I would imagine that after hearing Ms. Clemmy talk, you can understand why I was so inspired by that on-site visit. She's just, she and Cindy are just amazing leaders in our nonprofit community. We've talked a little about what impact is. We've heard about what impact we have from one of our grant recipients, but we can also talk about who we are. And who we are is a cross-section of women. We are women who are wives, partners, mothers, daughters, granddaughters, or grandmothers rather, sisters, friends. But we bring individuality, but our commonality is that we have that desire to make a difference with the time, talent, and resources that we have. Options to join. It's kind of time to talk about how you join. And first of all, we realize that $1,000 is a significant ask. It's a stop and think ask. $1,000 is a lot of money. And we've heard over time from our members, we've had requests to either make the payments easier through being able to use a credit card, to having installments so that those payments can fit possibly better within a budget. So this year, we're offering a few options. Our original model was once a year, a woman wrote a check for $1,000 and was a member. You can still do that, of course. You also have the option to charge that membership to a credit card. And in full transparency, we ask our members to absorb those credit card processing fees. So a $1,000 membership is $1,035. You can also pay on an installment plan. You can reach out this year. You can reach out, we say beta testing, but we're going to continue that, I'm sure. You can reach out to our treasurer, Kat Howard, at finance@nashville.impact100council.org. And she will work with you on an installment plan that will get you fully paid by May 31st, the end of our membership period. We have a sustaining membership called Evergreen. If you're like me, I'm all in. I'm in and for the foreseeable future. So my payments, I actually combine mine with an installment payment. So I will pay for my 2021 membership by May 31st. June, I'll start paying again for 2022. I'm in it for the long haul. Each one of those layers also has a plus level attached to it. We are an all volunteer. We're an all volunteer organization. We have no paid staff. We do, however, have operating expenses. Things like paying for our software to manage our grants or helping fund events and other fundraising or marketing activities. So we ask our members, if they're able to contribute a little more, $100 more a year at 110% level, then you're a plus member. Those operating expenses, so some of our members with additional payment help defray those costs. But the biggest group that helps defray our costs is a group that we are so grateful for, which are our corporate sponsors. They really help us maintain, and they, as I says here, they help launch our success. If you look at all of these corporate sponsors here, they have something else in common besides the fact that they're corporate sponsors. And that's that most of our corporate sponsorships are introduced to us through members. So some of these corporate sponsorships, we have members who are entrepreneurs, and they are also corporate sponsors as well as members. Others have introduced the companies they work for to our program, and they have become corporate sponsors. So it's just a great way to, if you think that you might have the company you work for that might be interested, you can reach out and we can connect Janet Walls, who is our director of corporate sponsors, with you. A level of membership I didn't talk about on the previous slide, but is included with this year we introduced a new program where at our higher corporate sponsorship levels, the corporate sponsorship comes with a member. So at a $2,500 level, they can sponsor one woman in their organization. At a $5,000 level, they can sponsor two. And we're finding and we're hoping that this will be a great success for us. So in conclusion, I want to urge you, if you're thinking about joining, to join. If you're thinking about rejoining, please rejoin. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for giving up part of your lunch hour to spend time with us. And look forward to, there'll be an April and a May event coming up. More details will follow. So look for those invites in your email. And thanks again, and have a great day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.